everybody, and welcome to another week of Good Luck High Five. I am one of your hosts, Megan.
And I am not your host, Maria. I am Greg, here to temporarily host for 1 week.
That's right. We have amateur pro Greg in the studio today, while Maria is sorting out being a dragon in Wales.
Yeah, this is so weird. Whenever I come on, they're like, don't talk until we finish our intro.
Oh, yeah,
and
that's
now,
true.
so I'm so used to like awkwardly sitting in silence. And you can see this on the videos. I'm just like sitting there twiddling my thumb, desperately waiting for my moment to talk. But now I can talk.
Now you're here.
I have so many things to say.
Wow. You're here in the real life flesh and blood. And you have a voice.
Yeah.
Like Ariel at the beginning and end of the film.
That's
The
a really
Little Mermaid.
disappointing middle.
In case you did not know, you are listening to a podcast that's for you if you play Magic the Gathering, whether you're sitting at home jamming some arena, you're heading out to your LGS, or you're playing with some friends. You know, we're here for you.
Yeah.
Before we get started on today's episode, which includes lots of exciting things, we are going to talk about Sealed, which Greg played in London.
I did a lot of times, unfortunately.
So that's some War of the Spark Sealed coming at you. Then we're going to look at what's hitting standard right now with these new cards. And we're going to take a little trip down memory lane of our favorite standard decks through the ages, you know, for as long as we've been playing, which is in the history of Magic.
Oh,
not
the
long.
History of Magic. Man,
No.
got some things.
You don't have to go back before you were playing.
Okay.
This only since you started. And then we're also going to have a choose your own adventure Planeswalker story.
Ooh.
That Greg is going to go through.
Yeah,
and
hopefully,
I'm going to.
Not going to say that.
What?
It will hopefully be better than the actual Planeswalker story of War of the Spark.
Sick bird. Greg was just telling me about how that story was, you know, a thing that happened.
It was a thing that happened.
It was a conclusion.
Mm-hmm. It definitely concluded the story in a way that made sense and felt like it delivered on all their character arcs.
Well, there you go. That's something. You know, that's an accomplishment.
Mm-hmm.
But before we get started on all of that, we have people to thank.
Yay!
And the very first people we thank are you, the patrons of the show. If you support the show on patreon.com/GLHF Magic, thank you so do re mi so much.
Absolutely. It's a really great way to give back to the show. And sometimes you get perks like cool Good Luck High Five tokens.
Yes.
I just got my Good Luck High Five tokens. And this set, War of the Spark, because they have so many different Planeswalkers, there are a lot of different tokens you can make. Yeah. And I had tons of fun all weekend making Meghan and Maria my tokens. My personal favorite was my Meghan Wolf tokens.
Yes.
I thought that was very appropriate.
Amazing. I found a Voya token while we were in London, and I was like, this is me, though.
Yeah. That's great. Anyway, I think it's up to you to decide when you make a zombie army, if you want it to be Meghan or Maria.
Oh, yeah.
I had to have them be Marias because Meghan's were busy being wolves.
Yeah, that feels appropriate.
Yeah.
So if you are able to pitch in as little as $1.25 a week, that's $5 a month. It really makes a world of difference to us and helps us keep bringing this show to you. Also, a big thanks to our sponsor, Card Kingdom.
Yeah, Card Kingdom.
CardKingdom.com/GLHF. You can put in the comments of your order, Good Luck Have token, and get one of those sick tokens that Greg was talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the best way to get them.
Yeah.
Other than Patreon rewards, maybe? Who knows?
That's done. So now
done.
this is the only way to get them.
Oh, shoot.
Or to meet us in person.
Oh, yeah. If you're going to be at Magic Fest Madison this week, come and find me if you want a token.
There you go. You can find Greg. Get some sick tokens. And also, we'll also give you sleeves to give away.
Ooh, sleeves. Yeah, Card Kingdom sleeves?
These ones will be Ultra Pro sleeves.
Ultra Pro sleeves.
Which you can also get at Card Kingdom.
Ooh.
But Card Kingdom, fastest shipping in the West or in the East. You know, wherever you're shipping to or from, Card Kingdom.
Or from?
To, wait, no, never mind. No matter where you're shipping to, they are really on top of it. Unlike me being on top of these words that I'm saying right now.
Just because we've been back from London for 8 days does not mean we're over the jet lag.
No. I was just saying, I woke up at 6.
I feel like
weekend.
like there's an 8-sided dice being rolled.
Yeah.
And that is when I wake up between 1 a.m. and 8 p.m. 8 a.m.
Oh, 8
No, 8 a.m. It's just random every day.
Yeah, it's true. Your brain is just like, is now morning? And you're like, no.
No.
Is now morning?
No.
All right, Greg.
All right.
Sealed War of the Spark.
Yeah, let's talk about Sealed War of the Spark.
What was it like?
Yeah, so I played in Grand Prix London a week and a half ago.
Yeah, this was a weird format.
Which was a weird format, so let's explain it. So there were 7 rounds of Swiss, and you had to 6-1 or better to make day 2, which is really hard.
Yeah.
6-1 is a really good record. But they had 4 flights. So both Friday and Saturday, they had flights starting at 9 a.m. and flights starting at 1:30. And so you
1:30. That's my time to play Magic.
Absolutely. Although those flights ended at like 11 p.m. or midnight.
Not my time to play Magic.
So those ones went really late.
Yeah.
And the rough thing about it was that if you wanted to do flight 1 and see how it went and then join flight 2, you had to drop after round 2. Which I would not recommend.
Yeah. Why would you not recommend it, Greg?
Well, I might have some experience doing it. So my first flight, I had a really good deck, but I lost to someone who I later learned went 7-0 with a really strong deck.
Nice.
And then I was 1-1, and I was like, well, am I going to try and go 5-0, or am I going to pick a new deck and try to go 6-1? And I decided to pick a new deck. Which I think was the right choice, although when I then was 1-1 after 2 rounds and it pretty much wasted 3 hours later, wasted 3 hours, it did not feel like a good use of my time. So anyway, if anyone from Channel Fireball is listening, please don't do this flight system again. Or if you do, try to rework it a little bit because 6-1 is really, really brutal. Especially in a sealed format like War of the Spark, where there are some really powerful bombs and you can just 2 matches in a row lose to really powerful bombs and then your tournament is over.
I heard generally people did not particularly enjoy the flight methodology.
Yes. I would add my voice to that.
Yeah. What were your decks like though?
Yeah. So the good news of this is I got to play 3 different decks, all of which were very different. And so I got to have a really good feel of the sealed format.
Yeah.
I want to start by talking about the Planeswalkers because they're the most obvious thing in the set. And I feel like I've been on a bit of a roller coaster with the Planeswalkers.
Okay.
Because when the set was first being spoiled, I was like, oh my God, Planeswalkers are busted and limited. Play all your Planeswalkers.
It does feel that way. That's like the way that we've been conditioned to think about them.
So then the whole set got released. And on my stream, on my Good Luck High Five stream, I was talking about the Planeswalkers. And I said, these uncommon ones aren't as good as they might look. And you don't fall into the trap of playing your Planeswalkers just because they're Planeswalkers.
Yeah.
Was the advice I gave. And I was like really confident on that advice. I was like, man, like don't overthink it. Like don't play all your Planeswalkers, just play your good cards.
Yeah.
Now, after playing the format, I think you should play all your Planeswalkers.
Wow.
I think even the ones that I thought were kind of weak can be really, really good.
Even Ashiok?
Ashiok is
like the bottom line.
Ashiok, I think, is not good. Teo Verada, the Shield Mage, I think is not very good.
Yeah.
Huatli, I think, is like really conditional, can be playable, but most of the time you don't want to play her.
Yeah.
But most of the others I think are quite good.
Mm-hmm. Jokes on everybody.
Playable.
This Tybalt is pretty good.
Oh yeah, Tybalt is nice.
Yeah.
Especially the ones that make tokens. Those are the best.
Yeah.
So like Tybalt, Vrashka, Arlen, Angrath.
Yeah.
For example. But yeah, so my first seal deck, I think, was my best one, unfortunately. I had a God Eternal Bantu and a really good blue-black control deck.
Hot dang. God Eternal Bantu.
God Eternal Bantu is really good. I had 4C, Tamiyo's Epiphany. Which I think is one of the best commons in the set in sealed.
Yeah.
Just being able to scry 4 and draw 2. That's like what you want to be doing in this sealed format.
Yeah.
It's definitely a slow and grindy format.
That's what I heard.
Which is good if you have bombs and really bad if you don't. Because the games will last long enough to where if you don't have bombs, your opponent will draw their bombs and you might lose to them. So what this means is if you don't have bombs, you maybe don't want to play into the grindiness of the format. Yeah. My third seal deck, which is actually the one I did the best with, had the fewest bombs. And because of that, it had like an okay looking grindy deck. And I just decided, nah, I can't go 6-1 with this. And I made an aggressive green-red deck. My only rare I got to play was Domri, who ended up being really, really good. And then I just got to aggro people out in green-red, and it was actually very effective.
All right.
So yeah, I think if you have bombs, play the grindy game. If you don't, try your best to be aggressive.
Just like make some big creatures.
Yeah.
There's some big creatures in red green.
Oh yeah.
You can just like
I played the like 4/4 proliferate guy. I played the 7/6 worm for 6. Had some ramp spells to get him out sooner.
Classic.
Yeah.
I think there's the red green fight.
Oh, the red-green one-sided fight that puts a counter.
That card is disgusting.
It's disgusting because in green you have all this proliferate stuff.
Yes.
And so you put a counter on something and fight with it, and then you can proliferate the counter up and make your creature huge.
Even if you don't have proliferate, that card is gross.
Definitely. It can also target planeswalkers. And sometimes planeswalkers are really hard to remove in this set.
Yeah.
Talking about bombs, like the other thing that makes this format rough is that so many of the rare planeswalkers cost 3, and if they go unanswered, they just take over the game.
Yeah.
Like Domri, Vivian come to mind. Some of the uncommon ones at 3/2, like Saheeli Rai.
Yeah.
These planeswalkers, if they play them on 3 into an empty board, which happens a lot in limited on turn 3, you're just gonna easily win the game.
Oh man, some of my favorite limited, like I only have drafted so far.
Yep.
But like playing Davriel into an empty board.
Oh, absolutely. That's
just
another
feels
one.
So good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just discard your cards.
Yeah. Davriel's great.
Okay. Opinion. Do you attack a planeswalker that cannot be activated anymore? Because it doesn't have enough loyalty counters on it.
If they're in Bant colors, definitely.
Okay,
because
otherwise
Bant colors are the proliferate colors. If they're not in Bant colors, usually not. Although I got totally blown out by this because I didn't attack a Tybalt that was at 1 in a game that went forever, and then my opponent played Sarkhan.
Oh, yep.
And Sarkhan makes all of your planeswalkers into dragons. And so then she +1 her Sarkhan and killed me with a 4/4 flying Tybalt that I had not bothered to kill.
Good for Tybalt.
Yeah, I know. Tybalt's
He's really coming up in the world.
Yeah, good for him.
First, he's like a playable uncommon planeswalker, making those devils, and now he's a 4/4 flying dragon.
Those devils are annoying, too.
They really are.
Yeah.
Something that, how dare it ping? How dare it ping when it dies?
I got to play with Tybalt and Jaya together because Jaya makes red things deal 1 more damage. So the devils deal 1 more damage in combat, and then their ping deals 2. So that is a nice combo.
Holy cow, that's gross.
Yeah.
That's so gross.
The other thing that I didn't realize about the planeswalkers in the set is like if you just have 2 or 3 planeswalkers in play, your opponent's choices get so hard.
Yeah.
Like they're pretty much forced into attacking, and then which planeswalkers do they attack with which creatures? When do they attack you? And like leveraging the like difficulty it makes your opponent's situation is not something I realized. And every game where I had 2 or more planeswalkers in play, I felt incredibly dominant, even if the planeswalkers weren't very good.
Yeah.
And same on the other side. Like even if they just had like Dovin and Zhang Yangwu, I was like, okay, like this is really good for you, even though those aren't the best planeswalkers in the set.
Another question. Okay, so you have a Dovin in hand or something like that.
Yes.
Dovin or like the Wanderer, which specifically their minuses only have targets.
Yes.
Which are relevant like with depending on what your opponent has on the board.
Yep.
They have no targets for them.
Yep.
You have them in hand and you have nothing else to cast this turn.
Yep.
Do you cast them?
It's pretty contextual on what the board state looks like.
Okay, let's just say Dovin costs 3, right?
Yeah, so
it's turn 3. Your opponent has nothing. You have nothing.
Oh,
you have
on an
nothing
empty,
else to play.
On an empty board, I will slam my planeswalkers in a heartbeat.
Right.
Absolutely.
Even though you're not even going to activate it that turn, you're just like, I'm using my mana.
Yep. The problem with the Wanderer is there are some creatures that grow in this set. And sometimes you don't want to reveal that you have the Wanderer.
That's
like sometimes they proliferate too much, and then you're like, haha, gotcha! I have the Wanderer.
You proliferated too much.
I have seen people proliferate counters onto their opponent's things to make them bigger so that the Wanderer can exile them.
That's exciting.
Which is very exciting.
Yeah.
But yeah, and the Wanderer's text is pretty relevant against red decks.
Yes.
Do you know about the combo with the Wanderer?
No.
There's the rare black card that says you can return any number of creatures or planeswalkers from any graveyards, and then it deals damage to you equal to their total converted mana cost.
That's right. Okay.
So if you have the Wanderer in play and you cast that card, it doesn't deal damage to you.
What?
Because the Wanderer says prevent all non-combat damage that would be dealt to you.
What?
And so with these two cards, you just get to get all the things back from all the graveyards.
Beautiful.
And you don't take any damage.
You don't take any damage.
One of the most busted things you can do in this limited format.
That's absurd.
Yeah. Fellow pirate boy Matt Sickick Johnson. I saw him do this a bunch of times and it was really good.
Yeah, that sounds... Also, when I saw that black card, I was just like, this can't be real. But it is.
Yeah.
It's very real. I also saw someone cast it and then die. But,
yeah.
you know.
I mean, that happens.
It happens. Exactly. It's why it's able to be a card.
Yeah.
Also, Maria told me Matt went 3-0 in his first draft. This is the 4th time that he has gone 3-0 in the first draft.
Yeah.
Of a PT or
Matt Sickick Johnson is very good at Mythic Championships. Although, despite starting 7-1, let's just not talk about his day 2. I don't think he'd want to say. It's just let's just say he dropped from the tournament at 7-1. He decided to quit while he was ahead.
Oh yeah.
For personal reasons, had to catch a flight home or something.
Classic.
Yeah, of course. That's definitely what happens. Don't look into it.
When you're ahead at 7-1, you just want to be done.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Okay, I will say though, I will say this about his day 2 draft deck. Supposing that he had gone on to continue to play rounds and had drafted a deck on day 2. He 1-2'd with it, supposedly, if it had happened. It looked really good.
Yeah.
It was a really good deck.
One of his losses, here's what happened. His opponent played Ral, the Ral that copies spells.
Yes.
And cast Totally Lost, copied 4 times.
Yeah.
So he kept stacking the top of Matt's deck, and he never drew a new card for the rest of the game.
Yeah, I did hear about that one.
Pretty nuts.
That's rough.
Yeah. So anyway, my main takeaway of War of the Spark Limited is play your Planeswalkers. They're good. Be grindy if you can, but if you don't have bombs, try your best to be aggressive or play counter spells so that you can counter your opponent's bombs.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks, Greg.
Yeah. And there's a great opportunity to play Sealed this weekend at Magic Fest Madison.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a really fun tournament. No silly fight system. So hopefully I will see a lot of you there.
Is the city of Madison paying you for this endorsement?
It is not. Neither is Channel Fireball, who runs this event.
Twice.
But I'm excited.
Kidding. I know. I'm teasing.
I haven't actually been to that many Grand Prix recently.
I know, me neither.
I'm super excited to play in one.
I'm sad I can't make it to this one. Anyways, but like Greg said earlier, find him there. You can get some tokens or some sweet stickers.
Yeah,
or some
absolutely.
sleeves. Or really anything else that you want to take from the office, Greg, and give it to people.
Okay. Tweet at me at NeverBully. Let me know what you want from the Good Luck High Five stash, and I'll be sure to bring it.
Wow. What a deal. All right, it is time now for a standard corner.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about standard with the new set War of the Spark.
Hold on, Greg. You have to do the bit where you're just like, it's just an average corner because it's a standard corner.
It's just an average corner.
There you go.
Look at that corner. Look into your rooms right now. Do you see that corner? I see a corner there. A corner there. So many standard corners.
Greg, you're a mathematician. How many degrees? How many degrees in the classic corner?
Somewhere between 5 and 125.
Wow. But what would you say a standard corner is?
Look, we're not perfectionists here. Let's say 93.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes they're a little too,
wide. And
a little too wide, a little too narrow.
Okay.
So yeah.
What you're saying is no corner is perfect.
Oh, exactly. So when you talk about modern, do you have fancy modern corners or legacy? They're really old timey corners that are getting taken down. A real vintage corner.
No, but we should a vintage corner is in the Sistine Chapel.
Yes.
Oh, look at this vintage corner.
Or a limited corner is a corner that just kind of eventually fades to an archway because it's very limited.
I would say a modern corner is we go to a Frank Lloyd Wright house and we're just look at this very modern corner.
But it's not actually a corner, it's just a straight edge.
Yes, this is a flat line. Wow, I did not know that you could get this much material out of corner jokes.
Yeah. Oh man,
we really stretched
corny jokes.
Get out of here. I'll be hosting the rest of today's show alone.
Bye. It was lovely being on the podcast.
Anyway, so there was a standard SCG this past weekend.
There was? Sorry. There was.
Thank you for catching it. It sounded like a question when you said it there. It's like, Greg, we talked about this. There was.
Yeah, there was. I actually spent some time watching it. It was a really fun event to watch.
Yeah.
Except, especially if you like watching Simic Nexus players do nothing for many, many hours.
That's all I want to watch.
Activating Search for Azcanta, playing another Nexus, untap, activating Search for Azcanta, Nexus, for about 20 straight minutes
sounds great.
While attacking their opponent with a 1/1 Callous Dismissal token, because that's how they're winning these days. It takes some time.
Do you know what? It's on their opponent for not conceding sooner.
I guess so.
But I have to say, we are looking at the top 8 of this event.
Yeah, tell me about the top 3 decks.
Wow. Well, there's only 3 words that I can say to describe them.
Yeah.
Mono, red, aggro.
Mono, red, aggro. All 3 of the top decks.
All 3.
Disappointingly, the second and third decks have no War of the Spark cards in them.
None.
They have, they have 2 of our new friend Tybalt
in the sideboard. Not even in the main.
But look at Tybalt. You know, he's making it into standard play.
Congratulations to him.
Yeah, good job, buddy.
Who would have seen it?
Yeah.
Nice work.
Yeah, we're so proud.
Good job, kiddo.
And then the first place deck had 4 copies of Chandra, the new Chandra, the rare one.
Fire Artisan.
Yes.
Which
was good in the mono red mirror.
Yeah, I believe that.
Yes.
Anyways, that's all we need to say about those 3 decks.
Even though Simic Nexus was, I think, the deck of the tournament, it did not put any copies into the top 8. We had the 3 mono red aggros that finished first, second, and third.
Do you know what? You should be... If you show up to the tournament and you have no cards from the new set and you're playing mono red aggro, you should be disqualified from the event immediately.
What if they just didn't get a chance to get any new cards? They're kind of hard to get. What if they ordered from somewhere that wasn't Card Kingdom, and so the shipping took longer? And so
Greg, you're doing a really good job working this plugin here. But you're right. We'll give them 1 more week. But if someone plays mono red aggro at a standard event any day after this one, I will immediately DQ
Megan,
them
I bet there are a lot of people that listen to this that play mono red aggro, and I want you to know that I don't judge you.
Wow.
As someone who plays Tron and Modern, I don't judge you for your deck choice. I think you should play what you enjoy and what you think gives you the best chance of winning.
Do you know what? I will say this. I do judge them.
Wow.
And it's okay, because there are people who listen to this podcast who judge me for being who I am. Which is a control player. So, I
didn't know control was we can definitely judge control players.
See, this is what I'm talking about. It's a really reciprocal judgment system, which is where it needs to be.
Yeah.
Anyway, speaking of, next up was Esper Control.
Yeah, there were 2 Esper Controls in the top 8 in 4th and 7th, and then 1 copy of Selesnya tokens.
Let's look at this. Let's look at this, buddy. What's going on here?
Yeah.
All right.
Also, not many new cards except 3 copies of Gideon Blackblade.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah, notably good for the tokens deck because it doesn't die to wrath spells.
Yeah.
Because it's not a creature when your opponent casts their wraths.
And it's indestructible.
And it has indestructible while it's a creature. That's true. Even if they use Teferi to flash in their wrath, it still survives.
It still survives. My name is Gideon, and I still survive.
Yes.
This Esper Control deck has 1 of the new Liliana.
Yeah,
Dreadhorde
a
General.
very impressive win condition. Also, they have 2 Narset Partner of Veils.
Partner of Veils.
Is it not a partner?
What? What would it be to be a partner of a veil, Greg?
She put her hands in the waterfall, and then they used its power to do
Oh my
her
God,
things.
this is the best. This is the best misunderstanding. Since is it legal to harvest sparks?
Anyway, Narset, best friend of Veils, saw a lot of play, and this is a card that in Limited, I think people have been underestimating.
Yes.
I was talking about Planeswalkers being better than I first evaluated. Narset, I think, is another example.
Yeah.
And I think that this card will see standard play and maybe even legacy play.
2 copies.
Because it stops Brainstorm.
Yeah, it stops lots of card drawing.
Another Planeswalker that notably shuts down the Simic Nexus deck. Good against creature decks because it can bounce creatures and draw cards. Just overall, a pretty good card for these control decks.
Yeah. And one Eugene the Ineffable.
Eugene. There he is.
Eugene, our spirit dragon friend. Yeah, I got to play a copy of this in Limited. Oh, sick.
Oh, yeah. Definitely the best card you can open. Also, very disappointing in the War of the Spark novel. He tried to be all write him all high and mighty, and it just came off as cliched and boring. His limited dialogue was some of the most disappointing dialogue.
Wow. You know what? I have to say that I'm supposed to read the book for a story time recap.
Yeah.
And now you're making me really.
Do you want me to come to the story time?
We might have to have you do that. Because you are not making me feel wildly excited about.
Oh yeah, I'll have some fun things to say.
So this also has some fun spells in it. 2 Tyrant Scorn. Yeah. This is another limited card that I love.
Oh, absolutely.
Very good. Blue-black instant. Choose 1. Destroy target creature with converted mana cost 3 or less, or return target creature to its owner's hand.
Yep. Really good at dealing with big amass tokens.
Oh,
both of its modes deal with big amass tokens.
And then there's also Dovin's Veto.
Oh, yeah. As people like to call it, Dovin's Ban. Yeah. I think the biggest question mark after this weekend that I heard people talking about is whether or not the Elder spell will pick up in popularity.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of these control decks and Simic decks are playing Narset, Old Teferi, New Teferi, Liliana, this Ugin
Isn't
in the
every Teferi Old Teferi?
Well, I meant
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah.
That was a dumb joke.
Yeah.
Anyways.
It's a good point. Well, he can mess with time, so maybe he'll become young again or something.
Yeah, it's
I don't
true.
know how messing with time works.
Me neither. It's above me. This also has a copy of Enter the God Eternals in the sideboard.
That was a really popular card this weekend.
Yeah.
Because it's really good against the red.
Just very good, yeah. Then we had Bant Midrange.
Yeah. This strikes me as one of those decks that's just
actually bad.
Yeah, while no one knows, while everyone's decks are slightly untuned, you just fill your decks with good cards Field Mystic.
Yeah.
And then as the decks become more and more tuned,
it's just going to get bad.
But this is a deck after my own heart. Green-white mid-range is all I ever want to do in any Magic format.
This has more blue than white.
I guess
I hate to break it to you.
Well, it has a God Eternal Loketra in
Okay,
it.
that's true. I mean, look at this. This deck is ambitiously running around casting Frilled Mystics, which is green, green, blue, blue.
Yeah.
And then also God Eternal Ketra, which is 3 white, white.
Yeah.
Why the heck
they
not?
have 4 incubation druids. That helps
that's
out.
true. That's quite true. God Eternal Ketra. Hello. All right.
Yeah.
You know?
So yeah, I mean, I think there's still
2
a lot.
mid-range.
Yeah,
in the
I think
top
they're
end.
the exact same deck.
Wow. All right.
Friends.
Okay.
So yeah, I think there's a lot of stuff to try in this format. Last format was really dominated by the most aggressive decks and the most controlling decks.
Yeah.
But it's possible that some in-between can exist in this format.
Maybe
with
so.
Some mid-range threats like Teferi Time Raveler and Enter the God Eternals helping out. Maybe some of this Bant mid-range stuff.
Yeah.
Hopefully can take down the menace of mono red aggro and Esper Control.
Yeah. Interestingly, no mono blue aggro.
Yeah.
That deck really fades in and out hard in popularity. Sometimes it's big spike, everyone loves it. Then it's just seen like a sharp drop. No one plays it.
It's weird.
What's going on?
Notably, probably nothing for it in the new set.
Yeah, that's very true.
So maybe just people are
that didn't stop mono red.
Yeah, well, that's true. But those 2 Tybalts, don't forget.
You're right. How could I have forgotten those 2 Tybalts?
And, Tybalt seems pretty good against mono blue. Being able to shoot some drakes out of the sky with the 1 damage.
Incidentally. All right. You're not wrong. All right, so all of this talk got me thinking of what have been your favorite standard decks of your standard lifetime, Greg?
Yeah, that's a phenomenal question. Well, I am a proud green-white mid-range man.
Yes, you really are.
Some of my favorite standard decks of all time are all green-white mid-range decks.
Yes.
Most notably, collected company decks.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man, that was right when I started playing competitive standard, was around when collected company was good. And I had a blast playing Bant Company.
Oh, yeah.
As I like to call it, Wizards and Lizards Tribal. Because you had a lot of wizards. You had like Jace Vryn's Prodigy and Reflector Mage. And then you had a lot of wizards between Deathmist Raptor and Bounding Krasis.
Gosh.
And like you just always wanted to play a company and hit like 2 wizards or 2 lizards or a wizard and a lizard. And I just love talking about lizards.
Yeah.
And during testing, I would always inform my opponents that if I were to play Coat of Arms, my wizards would grow by this much and my lizards would grow by this much. A real disappointment that Frilled Mystic, the first ever wizard lizard,
was not
a company hit.
Was not a
I feel like they should have known that Wizard Lizard Tribal
was a real
is
thing.
all about collected company.
So I'm just like this deck. I'm looking at it right now. Blast from the frickin' past.
Yeah.
Like you said, Jace Vryn's Prodigy, Reflector Mage. Ugh,
Yeah.
that was so.
Ugh, I miss you, Reflector Mage.
That was not the emotion that I was conveying.
Dramoka's Command.
Sylvan Advocate.
Sylvan Advocate's nice.
1 green for a 2/3.
If I wrote the letters DRO the other day and the word it suggested was Dromcom, my phone autocorrected to this because I talked so much about Band Company that it knew that Dromcom was a word I wanted to use.
Duskwatch Recruiter.
Oh, what a great green mid-range creature.
And then
Tireless Tracker?
Yes.
What a great
Tireless
mid-range
Tracker.
creature. Oh,
Man,
I just want to play this deck
even
again.
I can get behind Tireless Tracker.
Yeah.
Draws cards.
Draw some cards.
I'm into it. Archangle.
Not a standard angle.
Neither way.
Angle.
Archangel Avacyn. Wow. Which was the one that flipped into Avacyn the Purifier.
Yeah.
Wow.
So another green-white deck from this same era that played a lot of these cards was green-white tokens with Nissa, the Nissa that made plants, and the Gideon that made creatures. One of my all-time favorite decks was the deck I brought to my first ever standard GP, which I did in day 2. It was my first ever standard GP. But it was a green-white tokens deck that in its sideboard had a bunch of Deathmist Raptors and Den Protectors. And so it had this like Megamorph package that it could side into against the controlling
Den Protector.
Deck. Den Protector.
I remember that. Yeah.
But yeah.
Oath of Nissa. Just talking about that.
Yeah. How about you? Any old time standard decks?
Well, everyone knows that I was a real fan of the Elixir of Immortality no win condition blue-white control.
Okay.
Back when you could cast 4 mana wraths that were uncounterable. What a life.
Yeah.
Back in the day when you could cast a Sphinx's Revelation. What a beautiful card.
Yeah.
What a beautiful card. There's just nothing quite like it.
Yeah. There really isn't.
Yeah. I love that. Also from this same era that you're talking about was a black-white control deck.
Okay.
That was a little bit like slightly more mid-rangey.
Yeah.
And had more planeswalkers. I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah, I remember actually testing for this tournament with you. And we played a lot of matches. It had like the 6 mana Sorin and some Gideons probably.
Yeah, it was back in 2016.
2016.
Oh, what a long time
good
ago.
Time for standard.
Yeah. Let's look at this. Here we go. Kalitas, Trader of Get. I remember this friend.
Ooh, Liliana the Last Hope.
Yes.
Obnixilis Reignited.
That's right. Liliana the Last Hope. What a card.
I
killed a thing.
I
Beautiful.
hated Liliana the Last Hope. It was
I'm
very
sure you
good
did.
against decks that I played.
I'm sure you did. Grasp of Darkness.
Yeah, like obviously saving my favorite standard deck for last, Oketra's Monument.
Oh, that's
the one that
right.
I top-aided a GP with.
That's right.
Liliana the Last Hope was very good against that deck.
This also had Read the Bones. Oh, I loved Read the Bones. And Languish. All creatures get -4/-4 until end of turn.
You really like those 4 mana wraps.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
That was really something. So those are, are my, when I think about the good old days.
Yeah. Also, when I was in 7th grade, I liked to go to F&M and bring some brews. I had a sweet Enchantress deck. Not boggles, just the auras.
Yeah.
We weren't smart enough to put them on hexproof creatures. We just put them on creatures.
Just on regular creatures.
And prayed.
Yeah.
But one week, it was right after I learned later a burn deck won a pro tour. And I brought my mono white life gain deck to F&M. And I won the whole tournament.
Nice.
Everyone played mono red bird, and I was just like, tap 3 mana, gain 8, go. And they could never win.
How did you tap 3 mana, gain 8?
I don't remember exactly the cards. I had the card, it was a 2 mana artifact, and it says at the beginning of your turn, if you have 7 or more cards in your hand, gain 4 life.
Oh, hot dang.
It's like something owl. There's like an owl Netsuke and a crane Netsuke. It's one of those.
Okay.
Ivory crane Netsuke, I think.
That's
from Kamigawa. And I would gain 4 every turn, and the burn decks could never win. Yeah.
Let's see. I'm looking it up.
Yeah, Ivory Crane Netsuke. There it is.
Look at that. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you have 7 or more cards in hand, you gain 4 life.
It's from Saviors of Kamigawa, which had a 7 or more cards in your hand theme. It was not a great set to play with.
Greg, are you ready to go on a Planeswalker adventure?
I am always ready to go on a Planeswalker adventure.
Okay. So, the way this is going to work is I'm going to tell you a little bit of story, and then you're going to get to make a choice, and then we'll see what happens.
Okay, great.
Okay. This is only loosely outlined.
Okay, good.
So a part of it I'm making up as I go.
That's all I've ever wanted.
Okay. So, right now you're just a normal person.
Yeah. Am I me or am I someone else?
No, you're someone else.
Am I Maria?
No. Do you want to be Maria? No, I didn't write the story, so you're Maria. Okay. I'm talking about like you're like a little elf and you're walking in a forest, a beautiful forest. Yeah.
I'm not on this earth.
No, you're on a different
in the multiverse.
Exactly.
Great.
You are elsewhere in the multiverse. You're a little elf walking through the forest.
Nice.
You're on your way home from elf school.
Okay.
Which I assume is a thing.
Okay.
And up ahead, you see some bullies picking on an elf. And you are pretty short yourself.
Okay.
You're not a bully.
Sure.
But
are the bullies also elves?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, everybody's an elf in this situation so far. They're picking on
like crazy Lorwyn elves.
No, you're just like classic elves.
Okay,
yeah, exactly. You're like friendly tree. You're like you're hippies.
Oh, okay.
Except for these bullies who did not get the memo.
Trees are the best.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. You're really in the mindset, Greg. Okay. So you see them. Trees. You see them. Yeah. They're picking on an elf who's smaller than you.
Smaller than me.
Yes, smaller than you. You're the in between. You're the little bear of this situation.
Okay, I understand.
Anyways, so here comes your first choice.
Yeah.
Do you turn around and do you run for help? Or do you confront the bullies?
I'm gonna go confront the bullies.
Okay. You confront the bullies.
Nice.
And one of them pushes you backwards.
Oh no.
And you knock into a tree and you hit your head.
Ow.
And you see a bright flash of white. And at first you think you've been concussed, but then you open your eyes and you realize that you are somewhere you have never been before.
Wow. Are there trees there?
No, there's no trees. There is a vast ocean all around you.
A vast ocean. Am I in the middle of the ocean?
You are in the middle of the ocean.
Am I in a boat?
You are on a boat.
Okay. Excellent.
And then all of a sudden you close your eyes and you're back in the trees.
Wow.
And okay, what do you do now? You have 2 options.
Yeah.
Either you can forget all about it, go home and go to bed, or you can go and tell your best friend.
I'm gonna go tell my best friend.
Okay, so you go and you tell your best friend. Your best friend thinks that you're crazy.
Of course.
And they report you to elf leadership.
Oh no, they're my best friend.
Exactly. I know.
New friends.
I know, but elf
Maybe go back to
leadership
this boat, row to some friends.
Gets really mad at you and they exile you.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Am I gonna return at the beginning of the next end step?
No.
Ugh,
no,
dang.
you are simply exiled from your elf people and you wander into the woods.
Okay.
You come to a fork in the road.
Okay.
Do you go right or do you go left?
Left. Easy left.
Okay. You go left.
Yeah.
You walk off a cliff and you die.
No.
Do you want to go back?
Yes.
Okay, you arrive at a fork. You arrive at a fork in the woods. Do you go right or do you go left?
Right.
Okay, you go right. You come to a cave.
Yeah.
There's a cave there, and inside the cave is a hermit.
Okay.
And you look at the hermit, and you're like, "There's something kind of familiar about this hermit, but I don't know what it is." And so, do you talk to the hermit or do you keep walking?
I'm gonna talk to the hermit.
Okay, you talk to the hermit, and the whole time you're like gosh, there's something really familiar about this hermit, but you can't place it.
Sure.
And the hermit knows all about your power.
Oh my gosh.
They're like, you woke up somewhere else, right? And then you blinked and you were back here. And the hermit teaches you to use your planeswalking power.
Okay.
And so now you have a choice.
Yeah.
Do you planeswalk to a beautiful plane full of a giant city? We might know it now as Ravnica.
Yeah.
Or do you planeswalk to a place where that it's just like a mess of tentacles and werewolves? Some might call it Innistrad.
Yeah. Do I feel a pull to the city?
You do feel a pull to the city. Yes, you do feel a pull to the city.
I'm gonna follow the pull to the city.
Okay. So you arrive in Ravnica.
Yeah.
And you there are two people that you see that you can talk to. Down one alleyway that is just slowly being ripped apart. There's like a really like like a really punk looking kid.
Okay.
With like a bunch of tattoos and stuff, wild hair and a giant staff.
Yeah. Okay.
Who's just like
sounds like might be a friend of an elf.
Destroying this alleyway.
Sure.
You know, like they don't like the city.
Yeah,
you get it. They're trying to return it all to chaos.
Some trees.
To the left is like someone who looks like someone who looks really self-satisfied. They're just like they're wearing a blue cloak and they think that they're great. Which one do you want to talk to?
Am I able to planeswalk back to the city or am I trapped?
Right now you're in the city.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You mean can you planeswalk away from here?
Yeah.
No, you cannot.
I'm trapped. Okay.
You are trapped.
Got it. Dang. I'm gonna go with the guy who's breaking stuff.
Okay, great. The other one was Jace, so you really dodged a bullet there.
I figured it out. Yeah.
Okay, so you go and you talk. You find out that this punk kid's name is Domri.
Okay.
And as you start talking to him, you start to really like identify with what he's saying. You're just like, oh yeah, look at this city. How dare they build over all of the nature that used to be here? You're so mad.
I am mad.
So you now have two options.
Yeah.
You can embrace this rage that you're feeling and begin to tear down the city. With this Domri kid.
Okay.
Or you can be like, I don't know, I'm feeling out of control here. I'm gonna leave.
I'm gonna leave.
Wow.
I'm a little stressed out.
Okay.
I feel like I'm a very passive elf.
Yeah.
Even though I'm willing to stand up to bullies, but not necessarily to cities.
Okay. So as you try to leave, Domri pulls down a building and it falls on you.
Oh no.
And you die.
Oh, dang.
Do you want to go back?
How far can I go back?
You can go either go back to the part where you chose to walk away, or you can go back to the part where you chose to talk to Domri over Jace.
What if I want to not fight the bullies anymore?
Oh, you cannot go back that far back. You are too far gone.
Let's help Domri.
Actually, do you want to go back and not fight the bullies?
No, let's destroy the city.
Okay, so you and Domri have a great time. You're pulling down huge chunks of the city.
Great.
And then, at the end of the day, you're like, all in a good day's work. Man, you destroyed several blocks.
Wow.
And some crazy Gruul tattoo artist gives you like giant tattoos of the city blocks that you destroyed.
Wow, cool.
Which is actually a part of Gruul culture.
Oh, nice.
And you're like really, you're part of them now.
Yeah.
But then as you're getting this tattoo.
Is good. I needed a new best friend.
Yes.
Because my old best friend let me down.
Yeah.
So this Domri character seems like who I need.
But as you're getting tattooed, you see a vision of an elf that has like a beautiful glowing aura and is dressed all in like silken green and white robes.
Wow.
And they appear to you and they like somehow no one else can see them. It's like some sort of magic. They're appearing only to you.
Okay.
And they're like, is this the path that you want to walk down? And they stretch out their hand. Do you go with this elf apparition or do you continue to stick around with your Gruul buddies and get your sick tattoo?
Me personally, Greg, would take the hand, but I feel like my elf character is having an adventure with the Gruul and is gonna keep doing what they're doing.
Yeah. Awesome. So
never had a tattoo, never wanted a tattoo, but like this is a rush, and like we're not leaving this world now.
Oh yeah, you're feeling great.
Oh, of course.
The tattoo kind of burns, but you're feeling it. And everyone around is like having a great time.
Yeah.
And Domri's like, tomorrow something sick is gonna go down. So you wake up in the morning and there's like a giant army of blue people.
Okay.
And a giant dragon who's in charge of all of them.
That's scary.
And the elf lady appears to you one more time and is like, are you sure? And Domri is just like, he's like, picks up his giant staff, which you see has two giant dragon horns on the top of it. And Domri is like, are you ready to go? Like, let's go.
It sounds like we're tearing down the city with this army.
Okay.
Sounds like they're a friendly army.
You're going to go with Domri still?
Yeah, I guess so.
All right. So you and Domri run down. And then you see all of a sudden up ahead, some like Domri, all of a sudden, like a light goes out of him.
Oh no.
Yeah, and he falls to the sidewalk.
Okay.
Do you run forward to see what happened to him, or do you just like turn around and hightail it?
I'm gonna turn around and hightail it.
Right behind you is an Eternal, and they suck out your Planeswalker spark.
Okay, do I like so my spark? Am I like cognizant of it being flying?
You die.
Okay, so I don't like get to live through the spark and fly through the air.
Nope,
this is never
dies.
explored in the book.
Oh,
okay.
No. As soon as your spark gets pulled out, you die.
Huh.
I'm sorry. Do you want to go back?
Let's go back one more time. Let's go talk to the lady with the
okay.
The second time, not the first time.
Yeah.
The second time.
So the second time, as everyone's like, let's go, and the lady's like, are you sure?
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, I'm gonna go with this, actually, this lady. And she pulls you into a giant grove of trees, and at the center of it is like a giant living hall of trees called Vitugazi, and you get to see it awaken, and it rumbles to life.
Wow.
And strides.
As someone who's pretty into trees, this is a big deal.
It's pretty great.
Yeah.
You're like, wow, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen.
Nice.
And you see all of these trees, kind of like Ents going into battle against the Eternals.
Yeah.
And you fight them, and you live happily ever after at the end.
Wow.
There you go.
I thought I was going to die.
You know what? I thought about it, but I decided that you get one happy ever after.
Squished by the tree or something.
Okay, you get accidentally squished by a tree.
I feel like one of the flaws with the stories is that like all of these people make absurd choices, and the last time they made absurd choices, Nicol Bolas was just like, ha ha ha, you're all defeated. And this time they make these absurd choices, and it's like, ha ha ha, for some reason you beat Nicol Bolas this time.
To be fair, I didn't give you any reasonable choices.
That's true, but I'm just saying I feel like my character deserves to meet an end.
Yeah. Oh, that's okay.
On Ravnica.
You get squished by a tree.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does Nicol Bolas still end up with my spark?
No, in that case, you just got squished by a tree. The tree gets your planeswalker spark, and the tree planeswalks away.
Wow.
It's pretty cool.
Go back to my homeworld?
Yeah, the tree goes back.
As a
yes,
by the elves?
And everyone is just like, where is this tree from? And it becomes a whole legend.
Wow.
But also it's kind of an invasive species, and it becomes slightly problematic in like 100 years.
Okay.
Because there's like a lot of native wildlife that's doing worse because of it. But you couldn't have seen that coming.
Yikes.
So
what an adventure.
It really was.
Thank you for that. Thank you for taking me along on that.
No worries. Thanks for going along on it. Hey everyone, before we go, Ultra Pro.
Yeah, Ultra Pro's great.
Yes.
I brought with me to the tournament some Ultra Pro dice that have the Planeswalker symbol on them.
Yes.
And I think they're really cool because you have so many Planeswalkers in play that you can actually use the Planeswalker dice on your Planeswalker cards.
They look pretty sick.
They look really sweet.
Yeah, they're really pretty.
So that's my new favorite Ultra Pro product.
Here's the story that involves Greg indirectly. When Maria and I were like sleeving up to do our old school Ravnica battle, Maria sleeved up her Rakdos deck, and Rakdos sleeves, obviously.
Yep.
And I was like playing Celestia, and I'm like, where are the Celestia sleeves? Because they're great. You know, the guild sleeves are beautiful.
They're really
They're
nice.
so good. And then there were no Celestia sleeves. And I was like, Maria, Greg is behind this.
Yeah.
And you know what, Greg, were you behind it?
I was behind this.
Yes,
I gave them away on my Twitch stream.
But aren't they great?
Oh yeah, I think they're great, and the people who won them in my Twitch giveaway also think they're great.
See, there you go. Yep. So Ultra Pro, you can get their stuff at Ultra Pro. You can get their stuff at your local game store. You can get their stuff at Card Kingdom. But it's just great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They say it's what the pros use, and it's true. Like I, as a bronze level pro, use a bunch of Ultra Pro stuff.
There you
so
go.
do all the other pros. So it's not just the motto.
That's our show.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me on the show.
Wow, we learned a lot.
This was an awesome experience.
Sorry about all of the bad choices that your elf had to make.
Oh, you shouldn't be sorry. The elf chose those choices.
Yeah, the elf did choose those choices.
Yeah. I really thought the falling off the cliff one was the most. That one was really sad.
That one's classic choose your own adventure though, right? Where it's just like, you're like, oh, this is a dumb set of choices. Never mind. One of them leads to you inevitably dying.
Yeah.
But
we learned some lessons. If you come to a fork in the road, go right.
Go right.
Because left, there might be
cliffs. Also, if you fall in with the gruel, you're going to get a sick tattoo.
Yeah.
And any option is better than going with Chase. If you went with Jace, he was going to talk to you and you would get bored to death.
Wow.
That was slightly sad you didn't choose it, but also I set you up to not choose it.
Oh yeah,
so
you definitely.
It's okay.
Did.
Yeah. I mean, you would have also died, but of boredom.
Yeah.
Once again, thank you to everyone who is a patron of the show over at patreon.com/GLHFmagic. It means so much to us. And of course, to our sponsors, Card Kingdom and Ultra Pro, just some of the best vendors of all of the magic things you need that there are out there.
Absolutely.
Remember to check out our weekly news show, The Upkeep, and our YouTube channel, youtube.com/goodluckhighfive, where you can find the video of this podcast. If you prefer to watch it, you can find that news podcast. You can find weekly vids.
And a really exciting weekly video coming up
That's
this
right.
week.
We have
featuring me.
Vlog from Greg.
So,
see what London is like.
It'll be very exciting.
In portrait mode. I'm kidding. I'm not kidding about that it's in portrait mode.
In portrait mode.
I am kidding about shaming you.
I did have to record it on my iPhone because I don't have fancy recording technology.
But anyway,
it's still enjoyable.
iPhones record in horizontally, Greg.
Let's just say I've learned some lessons about vlogging.
No, but seriously, check it out. It's way cute.
And check out our Twitch channel. Now that Meghan and Maria or at least Meghan's back from London and Maria will be back soon. They'll be back to streaming.
Yeah.
And you can come watch me on Thursday afternoons streaming or them during the day on Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays.
That is all very true. Twitch.tv/GLHF magic.
And if for some reason you're like, oh, I don't want to be a patron, I don't like Patreon, you can give to the show through Twitch instead.
Yeah, you can be a Twitch sub.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, party people.
All right. Thanks for tuning in.
Party on.
Until then, good luck and high five.
Good luck, high five.